A young boy is the lone survivor of a plane crash in a recent Apple TV Plus series, Dear Edward. Let's talk about it. Hey guys, Dan here. This is Dan Reviews It. Welcome to my TV review for a recent Apple TV Plus series called Dear Edward. This premiered a little while ago. It recently wrapped up its first and now only season. It has been canceled, but you have these 10 episodes now to check out if you'd like. Before we launch into the specifics of this show, I want to welcome you into Dan Reviews It. Thank you for finding my video. We've got a bunch of great TV and movie reviews on the channel. I try to post something just about every day for you to check out, and please consider subscribing. Down below, you can hit that notification bell too to get the notifications of all of my new videos when they drop. Or just like this video, comment on this video. That all helps the channel out as well. So let's talk about Dear Edward. I sort of told you the premise already. This kid, young Edward Adler, who is played by Colin O'Brien. He is the sole survivor of a plane crash that takes a lot of his own family, but also the family of other people that we meet along the way in the story. You've got Taylor Schilling here, formerly of Orange is the New Black. She plays Edward's aunt, who becomes his guardian after the crash. And you've got Connie Britton as Dee Dee, who is a very rich woman whose husband died in the plane crash, and it turns out he had sort of a secret second life that she didn't know about. And you've also got Maxwell Jenkins, who plays Jordan, Edward's brother who perished in the plane crash, who had some secrets of his own. So you've got all these stories kind of intertwining, and this is a sort of a weepy drama. Jason Katims is the executive producer here, and he developed it, and he brought Friday Night Lights to television. He brought the movie Parenthood to television a few years ago. So, you know, he's no stranger to sort of wringing those emotions out with, you know, the sometimes maybe too heavy-handed drama. But, you know, this one is different from those shows. It is all about really the grief process, and, you know, it definitely gets a little soapy at times. I think probably too soapy for its own good. But it brings us the story of, you know, these people who are all grieving. I guess I don't want to say in different ways, because they all sort of are grieving in different ways, but all because of the same thing, all because of this plane crash and losing their loved ones. But, you know, as we sort of find out more about the characters along the way, you know, and it delves into more of those soap opera elements. You know, we do also see the nature of the healing powers of people coming together over grief, to share their grief, not to celebrate, you know, grief, but to celebrate the lives of, you know, the loved ones that they've lost, and to sort of, you know, have a common bond with their grief. So in that respect, it's certainly different than any of the shows that Katims has given us in the past. But I will say that not only does it veer a little too much sometimes into these soap elements, and, you know, I guess maybe you could say that like Parenthood or Friday Night Lights did as well, but I think it's in a more realistic, more grounded way. Especially like the Connie Britton character here. And look, you know, she's always a scene stealer. I've loved her since Friday Night Lights. That was maybe the first time I saw her. I know she was in the movie Friday Night Lights, but I didn't see that. You know, and I've sort of followed her career since, and I watched Nashville, and I watched 911, which she's no longer on, but, you know, I'm a fan. And so she, I think, wrings a lot of emotion from this character, Dee Dee, that I think could have been played off as, you know, just this rich woman without a clue or whatever. Britton actually does bring a bit of a depth to that character, but unfortunately, the guy that plays Edward, I'll give you his name again, Colin O'Brien. Don't really know him from anything. He's just kind of an average actor. He's you know, I don't know. He's okay, but when I think of like the great child actors of, you know, these dramatic shows, even the ones I mentioned, I mean, I guess he's younger than most of the people on Friday Night Lights, but there were some younger kids in Parenthood, and you know, This Is Us, if you kind of want to go that angle too. You know, not a Katims show, but definitely a weeper. he just does not really stack up very well with some of the kid actors in those shows, and he is kind of the main focal point of this show. So, I would have liked them to have a better child actor in that case. But I think the show does ring some true emotions out. I think some of the drama here is very very warranted, and the cast kind of earns it with their performances. Taylor Schilling's very good here too. I mostly only know her from Orange is the New Black, which she was also fine in, but also that started out more as kind of like a comedy and evolved sort of into a drama, I feel like, whereas this one is certainly a straight drama. And I appreciate the way that, they didn't make the plane crash itself the focal point. Like when I first read the synopsis, oh, he's the lone survivor of a plane crash, I thought, okay, this kid's just going to be like on an island somewhere. It's going to be lost, but with one person, and then maybe he'll find other people along the way, like the tailies or whatever. But no. So I can respect that they sort of took the plane crash angle that we've seen in really a lot of shows since Lost, or plane incidents. You've got Manifest, and La Brea isn't really a plane crash, but like it's sort of a Lost feel. So I appreciate that they're focusing more on the aftermath and the grief portion. So I do have to give it some points for that. I have only watched the first 3 episodes, so I gotta say I don't know if it ends on a bit of a cliffhanger on that episode 10. And now that there's no season 2, this show could potentially end without being resolved, which is always unfortunate. But I feel like when they expect a season 2, nowadays they do always sort of end with some threads, still yet to be pulled. So I will leave Dear Edward with a B-. I think it does a few good things, a bit too schmaltzy at times and soapy. But there you go. All right, thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time on Dan Reviews It. Bye.